Okay, good morning all of you. Hope you all are studying well. So last session we had talked about pregnancy, parturition and lactation, a nice concept. Today we go into a very important logic. 100% NEET exam mein one question will come from this topic. Everything about population explosion and birth control devices. So sir, what are the birth control devices and why do we need birth control devices? Sir, there is a tremendous increase in the population in the last century. At the end of 1900, the world population was 2 billion. 1900 में 2 billion था. By 2000, it became 6 billion, and today in the year 2020, it is more than 7 billion. So, sir, a massive population explosion has taken place. In India, there is an absolute population explosion. At the time of independence, India's population was 350 million. That is 35 crores. And now it has crossed the 1 billion mark in May 2000, 1 billion mark, and today in the year 2020, the population is around 1.35 billion. So imagine 35 crores say 1.35 crores means, sir, from independence till today, we have added more than 100 crore people, and as a matter of fact, 6 people they say one is an Indian. So, sir, out of 6 people on planet Earth, one is an Indian. That is the massive population explosion that is going on in our country. A tremendous number of people are there in the country. And sir, what are the important prerequisites for this? We are multiplying at 1.7%, that is 17 children are added per 1,000 per year, which is called as our population growth rate, 1.7%. Worldwide, it is in developed countries like Europe or in USA, it is less than 1%. In India, it is 1.7%, which is an exponential rise of population, and the population is doubling every 33 years. 33 years में population double हो जाता है. So today, in the year 2020, our population is 1.35 crores or 1.35 billion, 135 crores. We can expect by the year 2050, our population would be around 2.7 to 2.8 billion. 280 crore people will be living in India. We would be having at least 1 out of 4 or 5 people as an Indian. At the moment, 1 out of 6 is an Indian. Very soon, 1 out of 4 or 5 people could be an Indian. It's just too much of a population. Imagine our infrastructure. Our local trains are already so crowded. Imagine double the number of people in a local train. Or imagine the roads, there are already so many traffic jams. Housing is so expensive. Imagine if the population increases, what is going to happen to Bombay City, to India? It's absolutely the number one problem of our country, our massive population. So what is the government of India and the intellectual people in India doing about this? सबसे पहले we have started various contraceptive methods, and बहुत सारे contraceptive methods है. मीडिया के अंदर बहुत सारे advertisements हैं. If you have heard of it, हम दो हमारे दो, we two are two. And sir, they have a family planning program in which there is a family planning triangle. तो एक छोटा सा triangle दिखाते हैं, मम्मी पापा मुन्ना मुन्नी, and sir, हम दो हमारे दो. By the way, this is an olden slogan. The new slogan is हम दो हमारा एक. As a matter of fact, this is there happening already in China. China has a communist country and they have a compulsory rule in China. Every couple can have only one child, and their population, which was very high, is now decreasing. China has 1.4 billion. We are not far behind, 1.35 billion. And China में वो rule है, हम दो हमारा एक. Every couple one child, compulsory. Well, there is a communist country. Ours is a democratic country. Rule of the people, by the people, for more people. So sir, ये हमारे इंडिया में ऐसा कोई रूल आने वाला नहीं है, and our population is going to keep on increasing, estimated by the year 2025. Within the next 4-5 years, India will overtake China and we will become the number 1 country in the world. India will have the world's highest population, and that is the major crux of the problem. So much poverty, so much illiteracy we have is because of too much of a population. So sir, what are the different contraceptive methods that you can teach people to reduce this massive population explosion? Whatever contraceptive we use, an ideal contraceptive should be user friendly. It should be easy to use. It should be easily available and cheap. It should be reversible with no or minimum side effects, and it should not interfere with sexual drive or desire or sexual act of the user. So sir, these are important prerequisites. And which are the different methods for this? Sir, we have different methods, something called natural methods. And then we have barrier methods, and then we have intrauterine devices, IUDs, then we have oral contraceptives, and we have surgical methods or sterilization. So sir, ये 5 methods है: natural methods, barrier methods, intrauterine devices, oral contraceptive devices or oral contraceptive pills, and surgical methods or sterilization. Let's analyze these one by one. सबसे पहले you have natural methods. Natural methods, they work on the principle of avoiding chances of ovum and sperm meeting with each other. Egg and sperm को एक दूसरे के साथ fusing मत होने दो. Don't allow the egg and the sperm to fuse with each other. That is called as a natural method, in which you have safe period or rhythm method. You have withdrawal or coitus interruptus, and a very nice logic called lactational amenorrhea. So sir, what are these different methods? Sir, you have safe period or rhythm method. Sir, in which part of the menstrual cycle is a lady most susceptible to becoming pregnant? If you remember, in her menstrual cycle, ovulation takes place on the 14th day. Ovulation takes place on the 14th day, and the egg will pass in the fallopian tube for about 2 to 3 days. So 14th day पे she's got high chance of fertilization, and along with it 3 days, 15, 16, 17. So sir, 17 days the egg is at the tip of the fallopian tube, but there is still a chance of fertilization. Once 17 day passes, the egg will drop into the uterus, and now fertilization will not take place. So days 14, 15, 16, 17 are the most prime days when a lady can get pregnant. As a matter of fact, समझो the husband ejaculates in her on the 12th day. 12th day, the sperm से egg तो 14th day पे आएगा, but sperm can remain alive in the fallopian tube for up to 3 days. तो 3 दिन तक sperm alive हो सकता है. So 12th day है, 13th day, and around 14th day when ovulation takes place, fertilization can still take place. So sir, actually 10th day से लेके 17th day there is chance of fertilization. So from day 10 to day 17, which is 1 week, there is chance of fertilization. So when should a couple not have a sexual intercourse? Between day 10 and day 17. So first 5 days of the menstrual cycle, she is bleeding. So she'll have bleeding through the vagina. They will not go for a sexual intercourse. So have a sexual intercourse from day 6 to day 10. You are fine at that time. No chance of fertilization. Avoid a fertilization. Avoid having a sexual intercourse between day 10 to day 17. So avoid having sex during the fertile period, and then from day 17 to day 28 you can again have a sexual intercourse without any chance of fertilization. So sir, which is the fertile period? Day 10 to day 17. And which is the safe period? Day 17 to the next cycle, day 10. So day 17 से लेके day 10 or day 18 से लेके day 9, at that time if the couple has sex, there is no chance of she becoming pregnant. And when is the highest chance of pregnancy, sir? Between day 10 to day 17 and ovulation on day 14. So sir, sperm can remain alive for 3 days. So 10 to 14 day avoid having sex because sperm can remain alive. Ovulation on day 14. So 14, 15, 16, 17. While the egg is moving in the fallopian tube, there is still chance of fertilization. So avoid having sexual intercourse in the fertile period, day 10 to day 17, and that is called as a safe period or a rhythm method. If you have heard of it, staunch Catholics, by the Bible, contraception is a sin. आप किसी भी बच्चे को एक कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन से पैदा होने के लिए रोकते हो, then it is a sin according to the Bible. So staunch Catholics go in for this method called safe period or rhythm method to avoid getting a child. Secondly, you can have withdrawal or coitus interruptus. Coitus interruptus or withdrawal. Sir, coitus means a sexual intercourse. Interruptus, stop it. Stop the sexual intercourse, which is called coitus interruptus, in which the husband and the wife are having sex, the penis is in the vagina, and sir, when he is just about to ejaculate, just before ejaculation, in his brain is given out a lot of dopamine and serotonin. Two chemicals, dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine and serotonin make him have euphoria, a feeling of absolute excitement and joy. So there is a tremendous amount of joy and excitement just before ejaculation, when a husband is getting that feeling of joy or an absolute euphoria. That time you will tell the person to bring the penis out of the vagina and ejaculate outside the vagina. So if he ejaculates outside the vagina, that means fertilization will not take place, and that is an excellent method which is called as the withdrawal or coitus interruptus method. So sir, एक है periodic abstinence. Periodic abstinence means avoid sex, abstain from having sex, avoid sex. Periodic abstinence from day 10 to day 17. And withdrawal or coitus interruptus, in which the penis is removed out of the vagina just before ejaculation, and these are two excellent natural methods. Third, we have lactational amenorrhea. A brilliant logic, lactational amenorrhea. During lactation or during milk production, there will be no menstrual cycle, which is called as amenorrhea. During milking, there is no menstrual cycle called lactational amenorrhea. Beautiful logic. Whenever a lady is breastfeeding her child, I hope you remember which hormone helps in the production of milk? Prolactin. And which hormone ejects the milk? Oxytocin. So, sir, which one is producing the milk? Prolactin. And sir, because she is lactating, she will produce a lot of prolactin. Prolactin will help in producing milk, and prolactin will not only produce milk, but prolactin will give, I hope you all remember, we had done it in menstrual cycle, prolactin will give a negative feedback to the hypothalamus and pituitary glands. And hypothalamus and pituitary gland will stop producing FSH and LH. And what will happen if there is no FSH, no LH, no FSH? Means ovary के अंदर primordial follicle will not enlarge. No LH means ovulation will not take place. And no ovulation means no chance of fertilization. So sir, ovulation नहीं होगा. As a matter of fact, there will be no estrogen, progesterone, no hormones produced. So menstrual cycle will also stop. So this is called as lactational amenorrhea. So if a couple is having sex during the lactational period, during the milk production period, milk is produced by prolactin, and high amount of prolactin will give a negative feedback to hypothalamus and pituitary, and FSH, LH will become low. If FSH is low, primordial will not become Graafian. If LH is low, ovulation will not take place, and that is the way pregnancy will not take place. 6 months a lady can be protected from having a child. 6 months she will have no menstrual cycle. So 6 महीने के लिए sex can be had and the couple can enjoy having their sex without the danger of becoming pregnant. And what is that excellent method called as lactational amenorrhea? So it's a lactational amenorrhea कैसे है? And thus we have 3 methods: safe period or rhythm method, that is periodic abstinence from day 10 to day 17 of the menstrual cycle, withdrawal or coitus interruptus, in which the penis is removed from the vagina just before ejaculation, and lactational amenorrhea, that is absence of menstruation for 6 months during lactational period. And so these methods don't involve anything, these are natural methods. So हम कोई external contraceptive method use नहीं कर रहे, these are natural methods of preventing a child formation, and these are rightly called as the natural methods. Then we have barrier methods. Barrier methods say ovum and sperm are prevented from physically meeting with the help of mechanical barriers. So egg and sperm को fuse नहीं होने देते हैं by using a mechanical barrier in between. Which are these barriers? The best form of barriers are condoms. Condoms are barriers made of thin rubber or latex sheet that is used to cover the penis in the male or the vagina and cervix in the female just before coitus or a sexual intercourse, so ejaculated semen will not enter the female reproductive tract. So condoms एक लैटेक्स या रबर शीट से बनाते हैं. So this is a male condom, and so it is made of latex or rubber sheet, and this is available. You go to a chemist shop, he will give you a condom, and sir, open the sachet, remove the condom, and when the male has an erection, the erected penis is covered by the latex rubber sheet or the male condom. And sir, when this condom is put into the vagina, the penis is here. When he ejaculates, in the front is found a small area made of extra rubber, which is called as the teat. And all the semen will get collected in the teat, and there is extra rubber here, so it will not enter into the vagina, and a chance of fertilization will not take place. So इस तरह से fertilization prevent किया जाता है by using a male condom. Or a female condom consists of two rings which are covered by a latex rubber sheet. So these are two rings covered by a latex rubber sheet. One ring is covered by the latex sheet. So ये एक ring empty है और दूसरा ring जो है उसके ऊपर latex rubber sheet है. And this is available in a sachet. Open the sachet and bring out this particular double ring condom, and the lady inserts it in her vagina. So sir, the part with the ring which is covered with latex, it goes deep in the vagina and cervix, and the outer ring is exposed. Outer ring vagina के बाहर आता है, and when the erected penis is put in the vagina and when ejaculation takes place, the semen will go and get collected inside the female condom, and that is the way fertilization will not take place. So इस तरह से fertilization को prevent किया जाता है. And then we have something called as a nice logic. So in India are available male condoms which are called as Nirod. So Nirod नाम का male condom, you go to any government hospital and ask for Nirod, they will give you this condom absolutely free of cost. So poor person also can go to a government hospital, ask for Nirod, and he can use this condom, and that is the way pregnancy will not take place. One additional advantage of using a condom is that it also prevents STDs and AIDS, sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea, syphilis, hepatitis, and the most dangerous of them all, AIDS, the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. इनमें से कोई भी infection pass नहीं होगा from the male to the female or from the female to the male, because the penis is covered by a condom. So condoms not only prevent pregnancy, they prevent sexually transmitted diseases, which is an additional advantage of using a condom. Then we have diaphragm, cervical caps and warts. So these are barriers made up of rubber. तो सर एक डायफ्राम एक छोटा सा रबर का सॉसर जैसा होता है. तो हम लोग कप सॉसर यूज करते हैं, उसके सॉसर शेप का एक छोटा सा रबर होता है. एंड सपोज दिस इज द यूटेरस एंड दिस इज द यूटेरस एंड दिस इज द वजाइना. दिस इज द यूटेरस एंड दिस इज द वजाइना. तो सर इन द vagina we press the diaphragm and put it inside. और diaphragm को जैसे ही हम लोग रिलीज कर देंगे, this is a concave diaphragm, it will go inside and snugly open. It's rubber, so it will open up and it fits like this. So now the diaphragm made of rubber will fit in the vagina, and now even if the penis is put inside and ejaculation takes place, this ejaculated semen cannot enter into the fallopian tube because of the barrier called as the diaphragm. So diaphragm will act as a barrier. और आजकल diaphragm के ऊपर spermicidal clean jellies और foams यूज किए जाते हैं. These are chemicals which are spermicidal, sperm killing. Spermicidal is to kill sperm. तो diaphragm को लेते हैं, which is a rubber saucer. उसके ऊपर ये cream या foam या jelly spermicidal लगाते हैं, and this is then pressed and put into the vagina and released. It nicely fits in the vagina, and that is the way a diaphragm works. But sir, एक diaphragm use करना relatively problematic है. To fit in the rubber diaphragm, it fits inside, but when she has to remove the diaphragm will cause a lot of irritation of the walls of the vagina. तो vagina के walls irritate बहुत होते हैं while removing the diaphragm outside. So nowadays, rather than using a rubber diaphragm, what is more better is going in for tampoons, which are commercially available as today. तो आप एक tampon ले सकते हो. Go to a chemist and ask for a tampon, or a simple word, ask, give me it today. A tampon is a small sponge. It's a sponge. Sponge के अंदर holes होते हैं और उसके ऊपर पहले से ही एक spermicidal cream या jelly या foam डाला जाता है, and this is then put into a sachet. The lady, when she wants to have sex with her husband, she opens the sachet, she takes the tampon and its sponge. So she presses it and she puts it into the vagina. जैसे ही vagina के अंदर डाल के she releases her hand. Do we remember it's sponge? So sponge will immediately expand and it will snugly fit in the vagina. तो vagina में sponge पूरा fill हो जाएगा. If you remember, there are holes in it, and these holes are filled with a spermicidal jelly. And when the penis is inserted inside, ejaculation takes place. The sponge will act as a barrier, and the spermicidal jelly will kill all the sperm, so there is no chance of sperm entering into the fallopian tube. This sponge or a tampon has got two cotton threads attached to it. So once the penis is removed, it's easy. All the lady has to do is pull the cotton thread, and once the cotton threads are pulled, the sponge will easily come out of the vagina, and that is the way pregnancy will not take place. So what are these excellent methods called as barrier methods? So we have natural methods and we have barrier methods. And then we have an excellent concept called as intrauterine devices, IUDs. Intrauterine devices, IUDs, are today the best method, the most effective method. तो ये IUDs क्या होता है? These are effective and popular methods in which intrauterine device. By the way, हमने diaphragm, sponge, ये सब tampons कहाँ डाले थे? Vagina में. And IUDs आप कहाँ डालोगे? Uterus में. So uterus तक IUD पहुँचता है, and that is the reason it is called intrauterine devices. So of course, if it's to be put in the uterus, a lady can't put it herself. These are put by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through the vagina. So through the vagina, uterus तक ये पहुँचता है. And sir, intrauterine devices are available as non-medicated IUDs. For example, Lippy's loop. तो एक loop होता है which is called as Lippy's loop, and this is a non-medicated IUD. So through the vagina into the uterus, एक spiral loop डाल दिया जाता है, and this is called as Lippy's loop, and it will prevent pregnancy by not allowing sperms to enter into the fallopian tube by giving out electrolytes. तो नॉन मेडिकेटेड होता है, इट्स अ मेटल और मेटल आयन रिलीज होते हैं और उससे स्पर्म्स मारे जाते हैं. So this Lippes loop is metallic, and this metallic Lippes loop will give out ions, metal ions, and metal ions kill the sperms while they are still in the uterus and don't allow it to enter into the fallopian tube. तो स्पर्म्स को मारने के लिए मेटल आयंस यूज किए जाते हैं लिपीज लूप. पर सर ये पहले के जमाने में यूज होता था. Nowadays लिपीज लूप nobody uses it, क्योंकि much better than a लिपीज loop is nowadays a new method which is called as copper releasing iodine. Copper releasing iodine, you have copper T, copper 7 and multilode 375. Copper T, copper 7 and multilode 375 are copper releasing iodines. So what is a copper T or copper 7 or multilode 375? Sir, it is a plastic P. ये एक plastic P होता है, and this plastic P is put into the uterus. It has got two threads attached to it. So we have it over here. This is a T and there are two threads attached to it. On the horizontal arm of this T is put a copper wire. एक copper wire यूज किया जाता है and इसे simple English में तांबी बोलते हैं. तांबी in Hindi means copper, तांबा, copper. So a lady puts tambi or a copper T inside, and what will copper T do? A copper T releases copper ion which increases phagocytosis of the sperm within the uterus, and copper ions suppress the motility and the fertilizing capacity of the sperm. So sir, ये है sperm and sir ये है sperm. Copper ions will increase WBC concentration in the uterus. So copper ions are foreign and WBCs will go into the uterus, and white blood cells will now destroy copper ions. White blood cells से copper ions absorb हो जाते हैं, and white blood cells also phagocytose the sperm. So WBCs आपके sperms को phagocytose कर लेते हैं and they will kill the sperms by phagocytosing them. Also, copper ions go into the tail of the sperm and suppress the motility of the tail. So tail की movements interfere हो जाती है, and tail movements, because they are interfered with, there is no chance that the sperm can reach the fallopian tube because the mobility is affected. And even if sperms reach the fallopian tube, copper ions enter into the head and interfere with the acrosome. If you remember, acrosome is required to produce hyaluronidase, and copper ions will interfere with the production of hyaluronidase, and as hyaluronidase cannot be produced, sperms possibly cannot fertilize the egg and fertilization will not take place. So beautifully, copper ions increases phagocytosis by WBC. Copper ions reduce sperm mobility of tail, and copper ions go into the head and do not allow production of hyaluronidase by the acrosome, and that is the way copper ions will not allow pregnancy to take place. And you have something called as hormone releasing IUDs, hormone releasing intrauterine devices, progesterone and LNG20. And progesterone and LNG20 क्या करेंगे? Hormone releasing IUDs make the uterus unsuitable for implantation and the cervix hostile to the sperm. So sir, ये एक hormone releasing IUD है. Sir, insert T again with a hormone. As a matter of fact, यहाँ progesterone होता है. And what will progesterone hormone do? Progesterone hormone acts on the endometrium and makes the endometrium very hard. इतना hard हो जाता है endometrium कि even if a zygote morula drops over here, the morula becomes a blastula. But do you remember blastula is supposed to produce chorionic villi and do implantation. But once too much progesterone is given by that hormone releasing IUD, progesterone endometrium को इतना thick बना देगा कि उसके अंदर implantation by chorionic villi is not possible and implantation will not take place. Also, too much progesterone makes the cervix give out a lot of mucus. तो cervix में इतना सारा mucus जमा हो जाता है कि sir, even if the penis is put inside, ejaculation takes place, this mucus in the cervix will not allow sperms to enter into the uterus and fallopian tube. So sir, beautifully done. A hormone releasing IUD full of progesterone makes endometrium hard, prevents implantation, makes the cervix give out a lot of mucus, and mucus forms a mucus plug. So एक mucus का plug हो जाता है, which does not allow sperms to enter into the fallopian tube, and that is the way pregnancy will not take place. So we have done three methods here: natural methods, then we had barrier methods, and now we have hormone releasing IUDs and copper T, in other words, intrauterine devices. We'll just take a small break here and we'll go into the remaining part of contraception.